nice to see you all from all parts of countries. We are having a 12-day techie program on robotics and automation. We are waiting some of the participants. They will be joining us later. So I welcome you all, and I hope you enjoy this program. We have crafted a 12-day program wherein we have various lectures on theory, and there will be more practical sessions as well, and various faculty from our various departments, engineering departments, who are associated with Center for Mechatronics. They will be speaking, and so I welcome you all again. I welcome Professor Khandekar, who is the head Mechanical Engineering Department, to address you. Professor Khandekar.
So good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here. Dr. Ashish Datta, Dr. Kulkarni, Sonia ji, and all the participants who have come for this special program. Usually programs are 5 days, but I think the subject is so important that the organizers have decided to do it for a longer time. And there are quite a few faculty colleagues also who will be joining from other departments to address you. I think on behalf of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, of course, I welcome you all. As Dr. Kulkarni was saying, it's a fantastic weather. In fact, many people pay a lot of money to go to Club Mahindra and this and that, and IIT Kanpur is, I think, better than those places. And you are all fortunate to spend some time here. The spring is on, and you should please enjoy the campus. Also, next week, I think we have the flower show also, where the participants can probably go in the evening if you leave them a bit early. I request the organizers to leave them a bit early so that they can also enjoy the flower show. As far as the subject is concerned, my specialization is thermal engineering and heat transfer, so I don't deal with robotics on a day-to-day basis. But let me tell you today an interesting thing. My first paper which I published was in a conference called as NACOM. Now it is probably iNACOM or something like that. It was National Conference of Machines and Mechanisms, and that was the first paper which I published, as a BTech student. And in those days, this microprocessor 8085, Dr. Gaonkar's book was very famous, and that had come, and we were all excited to program it by hexadecimal codes, So that mechanical department had acquired a 8085, and we, as BTech third-year students, we took it out, and we started building small little things, controlling this, controlling that with a thermocouple and then some LEDs in those days. And we were really very excited. And then that excitement continued, and then we learned linkages and orthomorphism of linkages and this and that. And so the professor gave us the problem of synthesizing a slider crank mechanism where the velocity of the piston is given as a function of the crank angle. So this was the first problem which we did with some Chebyshev spacing optimization and things like that, and some, sometimes unique solutions came, sometimes multiple solutions came, and then we also made a graphic user interface wherein the slider crank, the L and R which we designed was also, we made a GUI so that people can see how the piston and cylinder are moving. And we plotted the velocity, and so all that I distinctly remember, and it was really an exciting event for us to go to IIT Kharagpur in those days, and Professor Amalendu Mukherjee, I think, was there in IIT Kharagpur, who organized that conference. So I need not, you are all sort of connected to robotics and automation, so I did not emphasize the importance of this subject. In fact, in the context of our country also, there is an enormous amount of scope. I think most of you are connected with WhatsApp and YouTube and things like that, and you get sometimes these very nice videos where they show how the Chinese and the Taiwanese have automated, even simple things. It's just mind-boggling to see. Even I was just talking to Dr. Kulkarni, that even food processing, like in our SIIC, there is a company who makes laddu making machines, There are also possibilities of making gujiyas with robotics and automation. So even the food industry also, enormous amount of applications are there. Naturally, this is a subject where interdisciplinary skills are required. So you have on one side vision, you have path planning, you have pure hardcore mathematics on one side, you have 3D modeling on the other side, you have kinematics on the other, on one side, and then also when let's say forces are involved, then dynamics is also involved. So it's something which is very rich. You know, it's let's say amalgamation of very rich branches of engineering and sciences, and there is plenty of scope to do research in whatever area you like in this domain, and that domain is really, really vast. So I wish that you also take home, let's say, important messages from this 12-day workshop. Try to conduct such workshops at your end also. Try to enthuse students to look for R&D in robotics and automation. There are not so many institutes in India who specializes, and our department is one of them. So please do consider if you are if you want to do a QIP PhD, for example, or a QIP MTech program, please do consider joining our department also. We also have what we call as the summer undergraduate research programs, wherein you can send your students to the department to do summer training for about 10 weeks. And I think the robotics group will also be very happy to welcome such interns in our institute. And then, of course, these programs under TechUp, programs under, let's say, QIP and other things keep going. Every 4 or 5 months, there will be something in robotics and automation, if not more. So please try to connect to other groups also, other faculty colleagues also, and ask them to attend such lectures, which will be very good value addition to your own career growth and opportunities. Also, it is important that you take home some research problems from these discussions, because then you can identify some research problems within the next 12 days or so. Also discuss it with the faculty here and take them home, and you can give it to your own students. Last but not the least, if you have a lab there, please make sure that the students are actually using that lab, in a sense that there are several bureaucratic systems. I remember when I was in the college, some of the labs were very bureaucratic in nature, in a sense that you have to write 20, you have to do some register entry here, register entry there, you have to do this to enter that lab and get some things. And then you could get one resistor, one capacitor, you know, and then you are trying to do something with that. Okay, so try to make sure that children are actually playing with these toys. You know, unless they play, unless they tinker, unless they work with their own hands. So as far as possible, at your own level, remove the bureaucracy wherein the hardware, the distance between the hardware and the children should be minimized as much as possible. Okay, so that is probably something which is very important in this art also, robotics and automation, where children have ideas, but they need to do something with it. Otherwise, it just, we say India is the largest country of prototypes. Okay, we have hundreds of prototypes lying here and there, but nothing gets commercialized, nothing gets final into the market. So for that to happen, the children have to play things, they have to tinker around, they have to do things, they have to wet their hands, make it black, you know, playing around with linkages and assemblies and motors and stepper motors and switches and Arduinos and things like that. So with this message that you will sort of try to minimize the resistance between the hardware and the children, the students. I wish you good luck, and I also congratulate the organizers that they have put in a lot of effort. You will see it's a very jam-packed program. I myself, I was, as soon as I came, there was a nice board with the entire program printed on it, which was very encouraging. So you will enjoy your stay, not only from academic point of view, but also from personal point of view, and have happy memories take away from IIT Kanpur. So thank you very much, and have a nice time here. Bye-bye.
So thank you, Professor Khandekar. It was very encouraging address, and certainly you should note that the takeaway in the sense of this automation, robotics and automation has to be practiced in our daily life kind of thing. and at academics also. So I thank you again, Professor Khandekar, and I welcome Professor Datta, who is the organizer, to address you. Professor Datta.
Okay, good morning to everybody. So, welcome again. Okay, Dr. Kulkarni and Professor Khandekar has already welcomed you once, so welcome again to IIT Kanpur. Unfortunately, at this time the guest houses were all full, so you're staying in the city. That's an unfortunate part, but anyway, I do hope that's a different experience again. Okay, so starting off, let me thank Professor Khandekar for taking his time and inaugurating the workshop, TechWhip, mainly NPIU for sponsoring it. Now, I'll be speaking most of the time during the workshop for the next 12 days maybe, so I won't give a very long lecture here. I'll save it for the later. Okay? But during the inauguration, at least I should inform you about the genesis of this workshop. Okay? So somewhere around November last year, MHRD, a group of MHRD officials in MHRD who look into the curriculum of government engineering colleges, IITs, NITs, they felt that there are courses which are called futuristic technologies. Okay? And they listed out about 9 courses which they felt that every engineering college in India should be offering. Okay? So MHRD, so the first people they looked at is NASSCOM. Okay? And they asked NASSCOM that, NASSCOM is the biggest employer in India, that what kind of courses do you want these colleges to offer? So NASSCOM also made a list of about 12 courses that they feel that has the maximum employability in India. Okay? So NASSCOM and MHRD together got together, and from NASSCOM side they gave 12 courses, MHRD gave another 9 courses. So finally they listed about 9 courses. So all the, what we call buzzwords, IT, in IT domain, NASSCOM domain. So courses like cybersecurity, Internet of Things, then cloud computing, big data, data analytics. So these were listed out, and robotics and automation is also one of them. So these 9 courses, what MHRD wants is that all colleges, government engineering colleges, should be offering in the next year or so. So for that, they listed out how many colleges are there and how many teachers are there. And that came out to be a very large number, 2,500 around. Okay? So then they felt that they cannot handle 2,500 teachers in one shot. Okay? So what they did is they listed out, or they selected one lead institute, either IITs or ISC, who will be leading particular subjects. And for example, AI is being taken care of by IIIT Hyderabad, cybersecurity by IIT Madras, robotics and automation is IIT Kanpur. Okay? And this lead institute, along with the other IITs and ISC, will be conducting the workshops in parallel. So we are having this workshop here in parallel today. So the other 5 IITs and ISC, Madras, Delhi, Guwahati, Roorkee, we are having it simultaneously, maybe a few days here and there. And about 60 participants in each of them. So in one shot, we can finish about 300 to 400. Okay? And why one shot again? Because they have to finish the money by March. That's the way MHRD works. They have a lot of money, they have to finish it by this time, so you have to do it. So, so this course is robotics and automation. The next course that will be held also in IIT Kanpur is big data analytics. Okay, that is handled by Amey Karkare from Computer Center. Okay, that is next month. So this is the program of MHRD that they want. So the objective being that we should offer a course, which is good, but then the focus was that you should have about 50% theory and 50% practical. NASSCOM insisted that unless you do hands-on kind of things, you end up with theoretical people who are no use to the workforce. Okay? So the way we have designed the courses in the next 12 days is that in the morning we have lecture classes, in the afternoon we have labs. So we start off with the robotics lab, the mechatronics lab, then we have computer vision, then we have, in aerospace, we have aerial ground vehicles, we have microprocessor labs in electrical engineering, control systems labs in electrical engineering again, and then we have AI labs again probably in computer science or in mechatronics center. So we are covering almost all the domain areas of robotics and automation, starting with kinematics, then moving on to control systems, dynamics, then computer vision. Then after that we have AI, okay, AI, machine learning, so everything is there. You name it, it's there. Okay. Now, something I would like to say is that, which has been emphasized, is that you're all teachers. So this is a faculty development program. Okay. So what MHRD wanted to say also is that the message is that the way the course should be taught okay, is something which we are focusing on. So when you go back and when you're offering a course, please try and follow some of the ways we have been teaching here, okay, and the way things are being explained. What do I mean by that? Is that when you say robotics, a lot of students will come and say, okay, I have done a course in robotics. So then we ask that, what have you done? So the answer would be that when a robot has a link, it has a joint, it moves. But once you ask him, okay, can you tell me the transformation matrices? Then he'll look at you blank and say, what is transformation matrix? Okay, so robotics is 90% mathematics, okay, whether you like it or not. Okay, so computer vision, control system, robotics is essentially maths. The math should be clear, the theoretical point of view. So that is the way we are going to focus on the course here. Okay, and MHRD NASSCOM also wants that you should be clear about the theory parts, okay, and then the practical aspects. Okay, so we will start on with hands-on experiments on real robots, industrial robots. Then we have MATLAB coming over. So they also insisted that somebody from the industry should come. So MathsWorks is coming. People from MathsWorks will be coming, where they'll show that there are various hardware interfaces of MATLAB today. Okay, earlier days, Professor Khandekar was saying that you used to write programs in machine language, ASCII code in 8085, and it was a real pain. Okay. Today, you don't have to do any of that. MATLAB has the hardware interface. All you need to do is to take the block diagram and make your control loops and download the machine language programs straight into the hardware. So MATLAB that way has really gone from being a simple computing kind of software to today they are into hardware, they are into controlling drones, they are into where you can just get a MATLAB program which can control a drone. Okay. And Dhiren will be coming from MathsWorks. So we have a lecture in the morning and a hands-on again for 3 hours in the afternoon. So he'll show you how to control mobile robots, aerial robots. Okay. Then we have IIT Delhi. They have developed a software called RoboAnalyzer. Okay. So RoboAnalyzer was developed at IIT Delhi, which is a free open source now, okay, for robotic simulations. Okay. So Professor Saha from IIT Delhi will either be coming or his students will be coming, and again, half day for that. Okay. So one of the aspects of NASSCOM is that you should become IT savvy also. Okay. You should be able to program, write good software, so that you can be you can help students in that respect. The students will get jobs. Okay. So software programming from MATLAB, software programming from IIT Delhi, RoboAnalyzer. Okay. So that is hands-on. So we would request you to get your laptops and come here, so that when you go back, these are all open source. MATLAB is not open source, but even the cracked version works. That's what he tells me. Okay. So we have 12 days. It's a little jam-packed. No Saturday, Sundays off. Okay. So, but Saturday, Sundays we have kept it for assignments, and Sunday is for a small project, okay, where you're actually supposed to do some theory. For example, a pick-and-place robot to do something. Write the program yourself, either using MATLAB or using C or C#. Actually look at the drive the robot to do that particular task. So when you go back from here, you should be clear about the theory part of it. Okay, that when you teach this the way it is taught. Okay, and when I mean this the way it is taught, it's not only taught in the IITs and ISC, but across the world it is taught this way, okay, the way robotics is taught. The textbook is Introduction to Robotics by Craig. Okay, I think you've got a copy of that. Not as yet, but you'll be getting it. So this textbook is a collection of class notes of Stanford, right from 1960s. So it is taught anywhere in the world. Okay, so it's a standard book. So that is the way we teach it here. We will also request you that after you go back, please follow the way, the guidelines rather, what are given here, so that this, this objective of MHRD and NASSCOM, okay, is fulfilled, that we end up with a good generation of teachers who are teaching the way it should be taught. Okay, not simply as a theoretical course, but involving theory and experimental work together. Okay, so not only become good teachers, okay, hopefully we're all teachers. Somebody said there is nothing called teaching, it's called learning. So we are all learners. You're learning, we're learning, we're in the process of learning, right? So after you go back, you will be good learners, teachers, and the students that you produce, okay, or whom you'll be guiding in terms of research, in terms of, will be more employable. Okay, that is the objective of NASSCOM and MHRD, producing employable graduates who will get absorbed easily as teachers or in the industry. Okay, so with that, I would like to thank you again for taking the trouble of coming here, staying in the city, commuting by bus every day in the morning, and then going back in the evening again. I hope you'll have an enjoyable time here. TechWhip office has done a wonderful job. They always do a wonderful job. Okay, So if there is any problem, please do contact us, okay? And sometimes it gets a little boring. Okay, we start off with all the maths, okay? But do bear with us sometimes, okay? Afternoons are labs, morning is theory, and I understand that most of you are from different backgrounds, like electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science, okay? So we have varied kind of people coming and speaking today. Not today, I mean in this workshop, right? We have people from CS, from computer science, then from aerospace engineering, from electrical engineering, from mechanical engineering, okay? Plus people coming from outside industry, okay? Maths works, okay? So please spend your time usefully here, okay? And after you go back, hopefully this whole program of trying to motivate, okay, and guide 500 or 600 teachers in this area of robotics and automation as envisaged by MHRD and NASSCOM will be a success. And after you go back, hopefully you'll go back with good memories, and we can continue with many such programs in future in other subjects also. Okay, so thank you again.